in 19, I say about when I was about ninth grade, between ninth and 10th grade in Houston, Texas, and I was assaulted by not just one time, multiple times because I was too afraid to tell anyone because I'm afraid they would not believe me. And I kept that a secret the longest time. And when I moved to Oklahoma, I was I was at a workshop program, and I was assaulted again because our workshop got a contract to do trash bags. And trash bags by me, it's like a box of trash bags you have to put in your trash cans, then the city could pick it up. And one time we went to, I say, a city, not dump, but where all like the dump trucks or the equipment there, and we pick up trash bags, and a guy whose wife was one of the top board members of the school board and through the special ed department, and he followed me, and I felt ashamed because I did not know they would believe me or think I was lying, but the matter it was, he followed me, and several years later got more assaulted, and I was too ashamed to tell anyone until one day I was at an advocacy meeting in Tulsa, and I had a chance to talk to a lady from the Rape Crisis Center in in um in Oklahoma, in Tulsa. And then I said, okay, I forget all about my assaults. I just was focused on advocacy and just doing advocacy work, and let talk about the issues, like I say, about shelter workshops, closing institutions, and also talk about long-term care. I think then many years later I have a chance to get a job in Louisiana, and I make some bad choices because I did not know the person was at first, because I'm a very friendly person. I'm a people person, you could say. And I hope people don't judge me what I'm going to say, but I need to be open and honest. I met a lady. I did not know what she was or who she was because I always greet people good morning or good afternoon or good evening. I always say I'm a people person, and did not realize a, she was a person who was a prostitute, and I did not realize that. And she asked me for money and stuff like that. But she came over again and again. I paid like between 4 times because I have no power to do anything because of all. And it was scary because I'm afraid if I call the police, I'm afraid I may go to jail. And I was very intimidated of that fear. And when I moved to Baton Rouge a year later, in 2004, my last assault was I met a guy at a church, and the person was hard of hearing. And I remember he would teach me sign. I already know the basic signs, yes and no. And he came up with my apartment. We spent some time together, and he started to try to make me, how I can say it, really forced me to do oral sex with him, and really follow me, and really hurt me in the mental health side of things because he wanted me to touch him. And a couple of times I say, no, 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 no. But he did not listen. And I felt ashamed inside because that was the scariest moment in my life because I take medication to go to sleep. And I decided to go cold turkey that night because I was talking to a friend on the phone. I was afraid he may read my lips, and I'm afraid he would read my lips, could maybe even kill me. I have that fear. And I was scared, and that Monday I told the pastor, but still I felt like I need to do something. And with all my previous assaults, this is the first time I report an assault to the police and the seniors. The seniors is a sexual assault stuff again. Sexual assault nurse examiner. And that was pretty heavy stuff because they did a lot of tests because I was afraid that I was afraid I may have AIDS, HIV, or other hurtful diseases. And that was pretty scary. And I make a choice in 2004 when I have a chance to get a job in Oklahoma. Sorry. Got a job in Texas doing advocacy work. I decided to get away from that bad situation. And I hope people will listen to this video, be helpful. I hope you guys don't be judgmental on me because people make mistakes in their life and the choices they make. Because, like I said, from my first assault, I was so ashamed about myself. And at the same time, I was using like NyQuil to ease my pain because at the same time, my mom was very, very sick and she was asked to stay in the hospital from my birthday until November 28th because she had a major stroke. And even my mom was in a coma. I did not tell her what happened because I'm afraid my dad may hurt me. And even Joe don't know about this part of my life until last week at the art conference. But I hope this video could help the youth because one of the things I noticed in the youth movement is bullying. With bullying, because like me, I was bullying around, but we really need to help the youth to speak out about bullying around because sometimes bullying really hurt you and mark you as a person and also not accept your disability. I wish more people who are younger accept the self-advocacy movement, embrace it, to touch it and feel it, because my story is different from theirs. But we need to get new leaders to come in